Okay, so another thing that they told me is they don't want the conventional questions like, what are your career aspirations? Their career aspirations, my career aspirations, fortunately or unfortunately, are similar to yours, right? So we'll try to stay away from these stereotypical questions as much as possible. But on a personal note, this is extremely good to see so many of my peers. The first Big Five that I came for, there were three other women, one a CIO and two who were sales in technology vendor organizations. So since then, really, we moved a long way. And big shout out to One Connects for this. Thank you so much for bringing in more. I'd really want to reconnect with people, my peers, right? When I come back to India, so it's a great opportunity. So let's start with a somewhat conventional note. Tell us what got you into tech. And I'll start with you, Benita, because you said you've been in tech for like 30 years. So let's start with you. What got you?
So, thank you very much first for selecting this topic and bringing to encourage more and more women to bring in this field. And almost I have till now 30 plus years of experience in this tech. And I feel when I joined tech, there were very few which was from this field. And now I feel oh my God, I am blessed because I feel life is an art for doing everything. Whatever you do, I mean, it takes good feel when you are putting something, being an artist, by being keeping as an artistic perspective of that. And when it is digital, IT, or tech, I feel like every day we have a blank canvas and where we need to craft the things digitally. And when it comes to digitally crafting, I mean, it gives a lot of satisfaction that we are able to make difference. And this tech field is everyday learning. So as you asked, like what brought me, so it's life is a learning about, and I get everyday opportunity to learn while being on work and earning also. So as an independent financial, also I think that life is a learning. It gives me opportunity to paint a digital canvas and make a difference and create a legacy also at the same time.
It's really wonderful. Let's go down the round. Yeah, Shita.
Yeah, thank you first of all for having me on this panel, power panel, I should say. Okay, talking about how I got into IT, again, my journey is not, I mean, I'm still very far from 30 years, but 20 plus. And how it started is, of course, because at that age you are not sure of what you want to do. So I wanted to do everything. I did my graduation in psychology, and I was too gaga over becoming a clinical psychologist at that time. But then computers also excited me too much, and then eventually I had to choose between the two. Uh, 20 years journey has been great. I think we are the generation who've seen computers. There was a lab and computer lab in the school, and we used to take off our shoes to enter that. So from there to a handheld device, seen a lot of transformation. And fortunately, I worked in multiple industries. So healthcare, logistics, education, BFSI, and now in manufacturing. It's been great learning, and I think we are learning every day, every single day. So that curiosity element, it stays and it keeps us motivated. That's
And that's two people who said that, right? It's kind of a continual learning. I guess other professions don't really give you that opportunity. Yeah.
Yeah. Hi. Great.
Mm.
Yeah. Hi. Great to be on this panel, and so excited to be on this and sharing my thoughts. It's been a fair evolving journey for me, I would say, and it's come as a conscious decision from my side. But what I really have put in and what I want to bring across is the ability and the zeal to keep learning, evolving, and understanding the rest of the ecosystem. I think that's the exciting part of it. We are part of this generation where, you've seen all of it unfold. We were, in that 2000 era when we were all around, with the mainframe, journey, getting into, evolving into another era altogether. There was so much panic, chaos, and, uncertainty around it. But the way we've seen all of it unfold, and now we are in the cusp of another one
which is probably one that mankind would never have be seen again. So I've seen all of that era. And what really excites me is the ability to make a difference and be able to be a role model for others in this space. So, I've been in the core consulting stream, and then into digital specialist stream, and then as well as into portfolio management, practice management. So all of this, I think what really gives me is this plethora of diverse experience that, this area has been given me. You have a freedom to explore, and whatever is the best you want to and suggest the best for your customers, you learn in the process. And at the same time, make sure you're creating a legacy for the next people, so that the next set of generation to be able to emulate and kind of take forward from there. So been a very exciting journey for me, must say, and being able to balance all the roles with the diverse view and be there.
Thank you, Shamla. And thank you for wearing a sari. At least one of us had to wear a sari today, right? Yeah.
Thanks.
I thank you, Sash, for arranging this panel for us. So, about me, it's been like 24 years till now, sticking to the BFSI only, because that's money is something that always fascinates me. And when it comes to that, it's a bitter truth. Everyone is working for money. I mean, let's accept it. But end of the day, how do we manage that? What kind of benefits we can bring to our customers, to our employers, and to the industry, and what we are leaving back for our next generations? That's what is something we need to plan. And for that particular reason, I decided to stay back to the tech. It was an interesting journey. I remember in my initial days, it was like finance and tech. These two things were like, you'll hardly find the women there. These were like literally, you'll find hardly any pairs. So that's what I thought, okay, let me give it a try. I mean, why people are not going to do that? So that was for me, the challenging points to start my journey into the tech, to be very honest. And then from there, I moved till to this stage, which is still a lot more way to go, I would rather say. And that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm really keen to find out what Komal says, because so far I only know that she can dance very well and she can play the drums. Yeah. All right.
Good morning, all. So, my journey is also BFSI and consulting only. So, I started my career with governance, where, I was into information security audits, and then I entered into cyber, InfoSec. So, then I've always been in InfoSec only. So, my passion or my, one objective is to collaborate, because I've seen, hackers and incidents which are happening, they collaborate so very well, seamless process, straight through. So, but in our industry, which we have seen across sectors also, I mean, now we have, taking baby steps to network and, know each other and, share things. First, people used to be reserved to share any incidents and their experience too. But now people have started being open, so that we can help other peers, we can, enforce prevention better than, cure. So that is how we are now collaborating. And I love to learn every day, because there are different, methods which the hackers use and keep us on toes every time, 365 days, 24/7. So I love to, be called as cyber defender. So that is the main passion for me, to carry on with this profile. Thank you so much.
So, at Ecosystem, as you saw yesterday, we do a lot of surveys, right? And you've seen some of the data. One survey that we ran very recently was a Workplace Happiness Index, specifically for India, with another partner. And a key insight was that women employees are more interested in skilling and upskilling than their male counterparts. I'm sorry, gentlemen, but and pretty much every one of you spoke about continual learning and lifelong learning. So thank you for that validation. It's always good to get validation on our surveys as well. Okay, so what technology? We've spoken about technology. Let's stay with the tech theme for a while. what technology at the moment are you really excited about and intrigued about, and you want to kind of get deep into it? Uh,
The technology, what I would like to get deep into it and would like to get, benefited out of it and create something which is really benefit for digital initiative and for businesses, AI/ML. And there are few cases where I have literally seen that it has really helped business. And if you ask, IT is a cost center. How we can contribute, bringing the cost down through digitization. So one of the AI/ML is where implementation is where almost 11,000 invoices in a day are being taken care through AI/ML, and it goes through three-way matching, and then payment is done. Another important thing is RPA is also playing a very important role, and almost a good number of, I would say, efficiency optimization using these two technologies has really helped.
So for me, because I come from manufacturing industry, we very recently started exploring digital twin, which again has a backbone of AI/ML supporting it. But that's something which will be quite exciting if we can get something like a simulation of an actual plant and machinery, and how we can make bare minimum changes and simulate a scenario where we can improvise the production, we can do some energy conservation, we can control some carbon emission. That is something which we are working on. We are very the initial stage, but that's something which is exciting me as of now.
That's one technology I'm really keeping a very close eye on. I want it to succeed, and with 5G, and it kind of feels like Industry 4.0 and digital twin will be the next thing. So really hoping that.
Yeah, so for me, the combination of AI as well as IoT, I think that's something that is going to play on for a long, for for the impact that we really look at as a society. And for that combination, we've all been hearing on the this thing around 4.0, Industry 4.0, all of that. But in reality, we really have to see, and a lot has to be done in reality. That's what I think. We're all still at the POC level, but when it comes to so many of the devices being connected and associated with that would be the kind of impact on the cybersecurity aspect also, that how you need to make sure all of the connected devices are secured, and at the same time benefit from the AI and the analytics part of it to be able to automate and then show you, aspects of decision making where you can really probe and you can bring in efficiency in the system. I think it's the tie back that you look at the entire loop rather than being looking at it in silos. So I think that is where is the focus area, and we work with multiple. I have multiple customers who we typically work with and provide them inputs, whether it's on the AI front, automation, or for that matter on the IoT. But to me, what really will make a difference is why we can tie all of that together and harness the ultimate benefits of tying all of that to that's it.
And you're absolutely spot on. We've seen greater convergence of technology than ever before, right? You can't say that cloud is an isolated technology or cyber is an isolated technology, IoT, AI, and that is where the power of actually being a tech leader during this time. That's the exciting part of it. Yeah. Okay.
So for me, as I said, numbers excites me most. So for me, data science and ML, these two things are like intrigues me so much that I personally decided to pursue my doctorate in that, and I'm about to finish in next 6 months. So why is that so? Reason being, I know that lot of things when we take as a decision when you're at a leadership level, lot of things we go ahead with a gut feel, or I think so, and probably this is right. But as sometimes when the facts it comes back, it's very different. Reason being, a lot of people takes it either on their ego. Okay, I've seen this, I've done it a number of times, and this is what I used to do. So if you have to counter back, or if you need to show them the true picture. So data is one thing which can bring out the facts of either in terms of the consumer behaviors, customer behaviors, either in terms of finding different patterns. So that's where it helps you to take the the right decisions.
And when we combine this data with the domain knowledge, whatsoever domain we are in, then actually we have that power where we can solve the real world problems. So that's exactly I wanted to go ahead with.
So for all of you who think that women aren't pragmatic, please listen to Akanksha. She spoke about money in her first response, and she spoke about numbers in her second response. Yeah. So breaking stereotypes all the way. All right, Cyber Defender. Yeah, I know it.
So for me, actually, AI and robotics is the main focus area along with cloud environments. So visibility across the network and, how to, integrate all the components which were, the legacy systems which are already in place in the environments and how we can, collaborate or integrate with the new technologies so that, effectively we can do a value addition to our companies and we would not, do duplication in terms of the same products or same systems or application would be my main focus area in the next phase.
Perfect. Nice and varied answers, and everyone didn't say exactly the same thing. Good, good. Okay, let's talk about stereotypes a little bit and let's make it a little more fun. Yeah, go personal a little bit as well. Everyone has stereotypes. Like the other day, in Kochi, there was this driver and he was very nice. And he said that, he has got no religion, nothing, but he only believes in two differences, men and women. And then there was this car in front and he said 100% woman driver. Okay. So I want to break some of those stereotypes. Okay, I can't drive. Honestly, I'm so bad at it. But there are things that I am good at and there are which are, supposed to be in the men's domain. And I can't sew on a button because, I just can't. And my husband does that, right? So there are these stereotypes that all of us, I just want to look at the personal side of you. Like a fun fact. What is it that you're good at, which you're not meant to be good at as a woman or bad at, that you are really supposed to be good at as a woman? I do think men cook better in general. I can start a fight here, but yeah.
Yeah, rightly said. Like we are made stereotypes from our legacy time to cook, take care of house, everything. I am good in everything except this. But still, I am blessed because I am here because of I have that support system at home who is my husband and earlier days they were my children. They thought if she is doing something well, let us support her. So as you see, I am good in all technical things. Driving also is my very good. Doing anything which is out of kitchen and home is very good. But still, house is not at messy. You will find it is managed with some different skill. But yes, I'm not good at it.
Good for you. Next, whoever wants to go, we don't have to always follow the line. But yeah.
Okay, I'll go. So one, of course, I can also drive. I've been driving since more than 10 years now. And I've driven in cities like Mumbai, Delhi, Chandigarh, and also cities in UP. So if you've ever driven in UP, you know how it is. There is no concept of red light. Jahan man mein aaya, gaadi ghuma liya. So it's like that. And I've driven everywhere and I've got compliments. So I'll say that women can drive. Apart from that, breaking barriers, the biggest thing, which is still a stereotype in India, is to be a single woman. I have been single all my life and I'm enjoying it. People around me are really jealous. I like it. I like it. I love it when somebody says, yeah.
I'm very jealous. Good job.
Okay, taking the cue from yeah. So that was a nice one. Okay, so for me, there's nothing that women can't do, or you should not label it as this is can do, because it then creates a subconscious bias, right? That's what we should avoid. And hence, I do not think there is anything that women can't do. I've been very pace at driving, and as well as running 10Ks kind of. I'm still on the trial to get to the half marathon, but yeah, I'm onto it. Hiking is something that I love, I think there's nothing that I don't think I can't achieve. So I have that belief in me, and all of us women, I'm sure we are all have that constant belief and that urge to do whatever is to our best potential. We might not be perfect, but that's okay. It's as long as you're able to make a difference, you're able to continue, and you can always improve. So that's okay, and that's what I think we are good at, and if feel confident about any area that I will venture into. I'm confident I will be able to strive and do the best. So that's what keeps me on.
You said something very, very interesting there. You said almost as an apology that you're not perfect. And I'm telling you, look at the men around. No one's aiming for perfection. It's always the women who are aiming for perfection, right? So, that's it. It's perfectly fine not to be perfect. Yeah,
Yeah, absolutely.
absolutely.
So I'm just sharing an example which I've gone through. I remember like around 12 years back, we planned for a road trip, a bike trip for Ladakh. And I hardly could find one of my peer to, give me a company. And people were like questioning, are you serious? You really want to go? Forget about the, external world. Even in my home, I had to, justify it couple of times. Yes, I want to do that. Let me
you?
go ahead too.
Did you?
Yep.
Nice. I tripped all the way to Ladakh on a bike.
Yep.
Like that movie with, this recent.
We were 7 friends. We visited that.
Wow.
And I hardly could find one woman to give me a company.
Good job.
So
So for me, I like to balance both the side. I like to be a woman, so I love cooking, baking, everything. But I also like the space where people have not entered. Like females don't. I mean, still, I would say in cyber side, there are very few, women leaders. So I like to, get and diversify that area. So I try to put people in my teams, female leaders to come in and try to grow so that we are also groomed and we can get more cyber defenders as the gender side at ladies also. And other thing is when people tell me, oh, you cannot do this, but I take that only as the first challenge and I try to do it. And I won't say I will be perfect or I'll achieve 100% out of it, but I try to mature and get there. And whenever I get there, I'm very happy and satisfied at the end of the day that I could achieve whatever was, comes my way and as a challenge. So whenever someone says you won't be able to do it, I do that first thing. That is my first priority. I'm and everything I'll leave and I'll just focus on that and ensure that I complete that task with the best of my efforts. And
Does your boss say that to you? You can't do this just to make you
No.
work extra?
no, these females, no, female. I mean, usually there's a tendency and myth, right, that the females won't be able to manage late nights, 24/7, 365 days. Will you be able to do it with your family commitments? And I come from, a conservative family, Jains. So,
Yeah.
so there, though, still, I would say now the cousins, daughter-in-laws are coming in service. Otherwise, we all are business side. So we never had a female who will work and, on par with my husband and then, get things right. So when my other relatives, ladies, when they see me, they feel very proud that actually, I also wanted to become like you only, but I couldn't. But now they have started their daughters. I mean, they've ensured that their daughters get what, they wanted as a dream. So that is how we are trying to change our
Yeah. Absolutely.
culture or environment or, families, which will actually, I hope for the best
Yeah.
to get there.
And this and let's talk about it a little bit. We're not going to talk about it a lot, but let us talk about it a little bit because it's important. Bias exists in society. The workplace is a small oasis of society. So bias does exist in the workplace as well. I was just sharing an anecdote with Pete. I went into a meeting, me and the head of sales at Ecosystem, Ram, and that time Ram has left us now, is having fun in UK. But Ram and I walked into a meeting, and the entire time, the CTO from a very large established technology company kept talking to him about the analyst side of things and kept talking to me on the sales side of things, because there was an assumption that I'm the salesperson and he is the analyst, right? And it was probably completely inadvertent, but this, it's some, subliminally somewhere it does exist. So let's talk about it a little bit. What are your thoughts? Did you face bias in your workplace? Did you not? I mean, I'd be very happy if all 5 of you could come out and say, nope, there's been no bias. But I know that would be slightly utopian. But yeah, let's hear both sides.
According to my experience, I would say that I've never felt that way biased,
Yeah.
either in organization or from personal front also. Whatever I wanted to do, I have been always encouraged by, male counter at my home and then male counter at my professional place. But as you said rightly, one has to build to give that confidence, ki yes, you can do it. For example, as you were sharing that he thought that you are a salesperson, but later on, with your capabilities, you might have proved to talk to you directly. And that has happened many times in my life, career, personal, professional, where someone will think, okay, she is, okay, female, she has prime responsibility to take care of house first. But you have to come, compete, and you need to do it technically a very strong in whatever area you are pursuing with along with your counterparts. And trust me, this is the only thing which has worked because people initially coming back from an assumption later on thought that she can make difference the way we think. And this is how I am blessed till now, whether it is a culture from a professional side or your capability, both are complementing each other to no biased feeling at all. I am from that era where very less female, they used to drive scooters and that too with gears. There was no Activa at that time. People used to say, okay, she is driving. Let me encourage my daughter also to do that. So, it all takes your capability to get developed what you wanted to avoid the biasness on your gender. And it will work for everyone and it has worked for me.
Yeah, it just had to work a little harder. Know what I mean? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Who wants to go next? Yeah.
So yes, bias exists. Um, a lot of times, like you said, people assume that won't be able to address to a certain question, and they very conveniently will speak to your other team members. There have been instances where I'm sitting on a table discussing some issue, and the person is talking to the person next to me. He's answering to my question, but he's not looking to me in my face. So that has been the case. It is assumed that ladies do not have intellect. A lot of times, the assumption is like that. I have overheard people talking about me when I joined a very new company in one of my organizations. And the previous team, the existing team who was pretty old in the system, I overheard them talking. Somebody who knows good English thinks that she will be able to drive IT. So I've heard those things about myself. But then, of course, I worked hard to prove my mettle. And I stayed there for 5 years. And when I moved out of the company, I gave them certain digitally driven business models. So I'm proud of that. Like she said, if somebody feels that you're not capable of doing it, you have to prove it, not by answering back, but by the actions. Biases are everywhere. It is.
Yeah, I would agree to her point that biases exist and either they are, so ingrained in our fabric of our society. So that kind of takes it whether, you are in a social gathering, you are, or across the street, or you are in a, conference or in a workplace. Invariably, it is, omnipresent, I would say. From my perspective, I've been lucky that I have not had that bias. And let me take it a step back. Right from the days when I was graduating and I was trying to look at career options and all. I come from a business family, but yeah, my parents have been extremely forward looking in terms of what they wanted to chart for me and or for myself as well, what I wanted to do. I was always given the independent and the flexibility. So that kind of always set me at a level higher than others for where I really felt many of the people and many of my team members also, I feel they are burdened under the bias of, within their families. And they come and open up with us. And that's a very practical scenario because you need to give them a lending year. And a lot of things, that connect with the team happens when you are giving a listening aid in terms of leadership roles that you play. So I have experienced through a third this thing, or not directly, but yeah, for me, I've been really lucky that, I've not faced any of those scenarios in the various organizations that I've worked with, and have a very open communications right now across, both set of people that I work with. So, yeah.
Two lucky women here. Let's see what the other two say.
So I would say a lot of things have changed. Honestly, in past couple of years, I would rather say in a decade, if you see, like 20 years ago, if you look at the biases which were there, not just in the society. At society is just one oasis. I mean, my workplace is just an oasis. It could be at the family level, workplace level, everywhere. But in last a decade or so, a lot of things changed. People started acknowledging that it's not about men versus women, or a man or woman. It's about an individual. As an individual, how much you can contribute, and if we can bring a good perspective on the table, if we can contribute, to a problem, a solution, a decision, whatsoever it is we are bringing, if we can add value to it, I believe uh, some extra effort it does take, but then we are able to break those biases.
Yeah, I also believe in that. You know, everywhere, I mean, there's competition, right? Why we are saying female and male? There's opportunities is for everyone. So who does hard work, planning, homework before entering in a meeting? Understanding the agenda, getting solutions, alternates. That really helps or brings you out as a leader in front of the whole panel. Everyone gets the opportunity. You speak something unique, which is value add to your organization. Everyone will have to appreciate. There's no second thought. So get that deliverable out, and then no one will have any word to say against you. Or fail, nothing big deal. There's no difference. So I believe equality is everywhere there. If it is not there, you ensure that platform is created for you and your peers, so that equality is given. But it has to be very fair, transparent, and only based on the outputs which we deliver. So, a bit of homework required prior, So I try to put more extra effort so that, anywhere I go, I try to value add.
Yeah, but it's always, it should be like effort should come from both sides, no?
Yeah, but then one point I would like to add, it is you can prove yourself once you are given an opportunity to speak.
Take the point.
It's very easy to talk over someone in the meeting, and which by default comes from men. I'm sorry, there are a lot of men in the audience, but it is very easy for a man to talk over a woman.
Yeah. Yeah. Some men have seen me talk over them, so it's okay. Yeah, there are some in this room as well, unfortunately. Yeah.
We worked hard to come to that level. Please agree that we are only few of. Just compare the ratio of men versus women in this room also.
Yeah,
There are some women who have actually broken the barriers to be able to be having a seat here.
I agree, but look at the ratio of the women on the dance floor yesterday compared to the men. Like, look at the per capita, okay? So, yeah, we should kind of be happy with that. Okay, so I was thinking, how should I end this? And obviously, the traditional way of ending it is, what would you, one word of advice that you would give women or young girls who want to get into the technology field? Now, I realize that young people, and I'm the mother of two, don't really care about what we tell them. So let's not give them advice. They will, they're a bit like, the ladies here. If you say, do something, they won't do it. So what's the one message that we want to give as women? Let's say that we worked hard all our lives, we've broken barriers, let's just take it as a consensus that we have worked a little harder than a lot of men in this room for different reasons. But yeah, what is the one message that you would give your male peers? Just, keep it quirky as well if you want to. And I'll start with you. I'm poor Benita. She's like, फिर से. Yeah, fun Komal, you start.
I mean, no message for any, male or female. It's just, I would just say a generic statement that is just follow your dreams. Chase your dreams, Just follow your heart. Just do what you think that is ethically right and just go for it. Nothing on earth can stop you. That's the take I have.
Sorry, I just have to say, sorry, Akansha. So one of our colleagues at Ecosystem, she is a Muslim woman who wears her hijab and everything. and was in New Zealand, and now she's in Australia. And she was in a similar panel, a Women in Tech panel. And her entire thing was people were going on trying to bring the conversation to bias and how do people view you. And she said that if you haven't if you haven't arrived yet, you haven't worked hard enough. It doesn't matter what you are. That's simply that. That is it. And you kind of reminded me of her. Akash.
So just one common message which I wanted to convey, that together we can, with this inclusiveness, we can definitely bring a lot of future innovations and leave a legacy for our forthcoming generations.
Just 2 points. One, just be yourself. I think that's important. Be authentic of what you are. I think that really sets things in the right frame of mind for yourself and as for the other person. And, you will, of course, with your beliefs, you will rise. And the second part is women can do it all.
Good job.
Okay, so one message that I would want to give is, if technology doesn't differentiate between genders, let us also not do that.
Very well. Very well said.
I would say thank you for whatever supports you have forwarded to your female colleagues, and you're at home also, because others they have said all about. So thank you for being cooperative at home, at your professional life. And I would say diversity will bring positivity. Okay.
Absolutely. And thank you so much, all of you. You've made wonderful points here. My one bit to my male peers and my female peers, every one of us out here is an individual with our own quirks and with our own positives and negatives. And just, it's hard for us to think, oh, I'm a Bengali, I'm a Jain. Same way it's hard for us to think like I'm a woman, I'm a man, right? I think we've seen enough diversity already, especially in India, to actually just take it in our stride, I guess. Yeah. Thank you so much. Wonderful bunch of ladies. A round of applause for them, please.